What's up, guys? Hey, it's Mike here. Hey, I wanted to do this video because back in, as you can see right here, 2013, right? So about a little over 4.5 years ago, I met with one of Dave Ramsey's ELPs, right? His endorsed local providers. Now, the individual that I met with was a nice guy, a great guy. He laid out a plan for me. He met with me. He wasn't a high pressure guy. He followed, or said he followed, Dave Ramsey's, guidelines on saving, getting rid of debt, retiring, or saving for retirement. And this was the plan that we came up with. Now, let me do a little backstory real quick. So at this point in my life, I had listened to Dave Ramsey for a number of years. I had made the decision not to go into debt. I had no credit cards, no debt whatsoever at all. But I wanted to do something more than that because I realized that I wanted to be financially free. And that doesn't mean just free from debt, but also free from the chains and shackles that hold an average person down and keep them from being able to live the life they want. Traveling, spending time with family members all across the country, being able to give to people, to help people out when they need your help. Anyways, I thought that I would be able to achieve that level of financial freedom through using Dave Ramsey's ELP as endorsed local provider and getting myself on a financial plan to set myself up for success. Now, that being said, I'm not here to bash Dave Ramsey's guy. I'm not here to bash this individual who I met with. He was a wonderful guy. What I'm here to talk about is the change in thinking that I had a couple of years after this, when I realized, and I'm going to start with this this picture right here. I found this he made this packet for me, this big old packet with all these different information about myself that we went over with my numbers and what I was going to have to do to be financially successful in retirement. And here we can see me at age 23, right? At age 23, my projected income was $42,000 a year. And that's probably pretty close to what I was. And he came back at me with this and said, as time goes on, then you're going to obviously make more money. You're going to become more valuable in your job. And so that's what all these numbers represent, as well as the 3% inflation you can see over here. So he lays out for me that he is projecting over the next as you can see right here, 36 years of my life from 23 to 59, I'm going to move from $42,000 a year to $121,000 a year. And the total amount of income before I wanted to retire, he asked, what is your retirement age goal? And I thought that I was being ambitious with my saying I wanted to retire at the age of 60. Instead of like 66 or 65. So I said 60. So okay, then between now and the age of 59, you're going to make $2.7 million in your life. This year you're going to make $42,000, next year approximately $43,000, and so on and so forth. And why I'm sharing this is because this is what I thought success looked like. When I was 23 years old, this is what I thought being able to be free was going to look like. That this path for my income was good. I thought, oh, well, this is great. Look at this. This shows that I'm a responsible adult. This means that I've got it figured out. This is what I want in life. And it couldn't have been further from the truth. As I got older, only 1 year later, I realized, wait a minute, hold on. I'm not going to accept that I'm going to make $42,000 a year, and then the next year I'll make $43,000. And it's going to take me until I'm 30 years old in order to make $51,000. And it's going to take me until I'm 40 to make almost $70,000. And then at 50, I might get close to 100, and then I won't even break $100,000 in a single year until I'm 53 years old. That would be the year 2043. Okay? This was unacceptable to me. I started looking at this and I was like, wait a minute, hold on. This is not the type of life I want to live. I'm worth more than this. I can do better than this. And I know I've talked about in some of my other videos how I've gone and I changed jobs. I made myself as valuable as I could at the job I was at. I buckled down and made sure that I was worth every penny. So the next year, by the time I was 24, I was making $60,000 a year, which I wasn't anticipated to make until the age of 36. So I jumped ahead 12 years on that. And That wasn't good enough. I had gone as far as I could with that company. I wanted to do something where I would have more potential to grow and I would be more satisfied with the work I was doing. So I jumped over to becoming an officer and I took a pay cut. I dropped down into the $50,000 a year range, which again, I wasn't supposed to make until I was 29 or 30 anyway, so who cares? And from there, I went through the training process and the hiring process, which is this over a year-long process that you spend becoming an officer out here in Washington. And at the end of that, I was at $60,000 a year again. But I had the potential and ability to grow. Last year, I'm 27 years old now. I was born in 1990. It's 2018. I was born in November of 1990. It's what is it? It's the 4th of July today, 2018. Last year, I made $84,000 for the year. That means that I wasn't supposed to make that until I was 47 years old. I made that much money 20 years ahead of schedule. I'm proud of that. This year, I'm going to make over $100,000. I am on my way, provided I don't become drastically sick or injured in some way. I will make over $100,000, which was a number I was not supposed to hit until I was 53 years old. The reason that I am against Dave Ramsey's ideas and philosophies is not that I'm against his ideas about staying out of bad credit card debt. I am totally and 100% support of Uncle Dave right there. Dave, preach it from the mountaintops. Preach not taking stupid student loans and not getting into dumb credit card debt and not buying expensive cars that you can't afford, you don't need. I am with you 100%, Dave, but I am against you with everything in my soul, because when I look at this paper, I realize that if I had accepted these numbers, if I had accepted this mindset, I was settling for mediocrity and I was settling for less than my potential. But because I decided to expand, because I found mentors, because I found people who were going to help me believe in myself and find my true potential, I was able to blow this out of the water, and within 4 short years, I will have hit that $100,000 a year mark, which was something I wasn't supposed to hit for almost 30 years. That is why I'm against Dave Ramsey's philosophies. And again, this guy was a wonderful guy, and this works for some people. I understand it. You're right. This is a for sure, for certain path that will help you be able to, well, maybe achieve financial freedom. Let's go on just for a little bit further. So let me go ahead and change the slides here. Okay, so my financial independence number, again, this was all presented to me by that same gentleman, right? I told him that I want, as you can see in this upper left-hand corner over here, $4,000 a month to spend in retirement, which when I think about it now is garbage. I spend over $4,000 a month right now and I don't live lavishly. Expenses are going to do nothing but go up. I told him I wanted to be able to spend $4,000 a month. You can see right there the amount of years until my projected retirement at the age of 60 was 37 years. And then we calculated that I'd live to 100, which I still hope I do. I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't gamble, I don't party, I don't have tattoos. I play a lot of soccer and work out. So I'm hoping to make it to the big 100, but we'll see. Anyways, my financial independence number was $4.4 million. Now, as you saw on the last slide, I'm only going to make 2.7. So this is where I have to invest as much money as I can in order to make a number that will allow me to live successfully. And you can see right here, I believe that monthly requirement need is adjusted for inflation. In that top right, my annual requirement need is $143,000. Okay, so I'm not going to get anywhere near that with what I'm making right now. Okay, well, not right now. What I was making at 23 in December of 2013. So hold on, let's go ahead and jump to the next slide. So we can see right here, he has this retirement projection ledger. And I'm going to go ahead and zoom so that we can hopefully see things better, right? My age at 23, I have a beginning retirement balance of $0. Annual investment contributions, $525 a year, right? And my annual requirement need is $0. Okay, now let's go ahead. Oh, ending retirement balance over here, $525, right? So then as time goes on and I invest, $6,300 a year. Again, this would have been into a Roth IRA. Over time, by the time I'm 59 years old, I will have invested 1.3, and I'm right down here, 1.3, excuse me, my beginning retirement balance would be 1.3 million. The investment growth would have been $123,000. My investment contributions stayed the same. And again, I understand that realistically my contribution would have gone up as my income would have gone up, and I would have gotten to a higher number. But for the sake of this experiment, they do everything kind of being conservatively and estimating for the worst, right? Let's say your investment amount never goes up, right? Let's work off those numbers. So what I found was that at age 60, I'd have 1.4 million in the bank. And by the time I was 70, only 10 years later, I would have spent through everything. So you can see the blue line right there is my retirement age, and the red line right there is the amount of time it takes for me to run out of retirement money. Okay. Now this is crazy. I'm going to work my entire life and only be able to make it 10 years. Only 10 years? Sure, it's not counting for Social Security, but why would I count for Social Security? That's not going to be around 30 plus years from now when I'm in my 60s. Excuse me, 40 plus years from now when I'm in my 60s. That's not going to exist. I can't bank on that. It might not even be here tomorrow. Anyways, I recognized that the only way I was going to actually ever to be able to live the life I wanted was if I took it into my own hands, was if I took responsibility for my own life, was if I took a look at this and said, this is garbage. I'm throwing all of it out and I'm starting over. Uncle Dave, you kept me out of a lot of trouble when I was young. You kept me from making bad decisions, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart that I am not one of those people who went to college and got a 4-year education at $30,000 a year to be $120,000 in debt and end up with a degree as an art history major or a political science degree. I mean, yeah, follow your passion, Mike. Do whatever makes you happy. Oh, you'll be so much better off. No, that's total, complete garbage. Uncle Dave, I appreciate it. But the truth is that you can't save your way to success. This is absolute proof right here. You cannot save your way to success. You have to produce income. You have to increase your income. We don't have, as Grant Cardone says, you don't have a debt problem. You got an income problem. Anyways, guys, look, I'm not trying to trash on Uncle Dave or the guy who I met with about the investing. I understand that, obviously, I'm sure Dave Ramsey is completely for figuring out how to increase your income. I'm sure that he would encourage me to figure out how to become more valuable, do a better job, work more. I get it. My concern with Dave isn't just the fact that he's so anti-debt when I know now that not all debt is bad debt. Even he himself admits buying a house, you're going to go into debt for it. So he knows some debt is necessary. Some debt is usable. Stupid debt, credit card debt, student loans, that kind of stuff, yeah, you want to stay away from it. But even now, I have a credit card now. And all I do is put on monthly expenses that I would pay off my debit card anyways, but I pay it on my credit card simply so I can build a better credit score and actually get like 2% cash back on most of the stuff I buy. So it does nothing to hurt me. I don't spend with it irresponsibly. I think the better advice to offer would be don't be irresponsible. Easier said than done. But I think the real big problem with his advice, when given to somebody like me at that age, from the ages of 18 to 23, when I listened to Dave religiously, it scared me. It made me afraid. I was paralyzed with fear about what would happen to me if I didn't follow the plan. If I didn't follow the plan, if I didn't stay with what I had. And when I quit that job working as a granite construction guy and went to be an officer, I mean, there's so many times I could have been fired. You're not a good enough shot. You don't drive well enough. You can't understand the legal jargon well enough. You're not responding in the situations appropriately. You don't meet the physical requirements. You don't meet the this, that, or the other. There's so many reasons to be let go. And the fear I had about being poor and being poor in retirement, about being poor my entire life, that is perpetuated by the philosophies I believe that Dave preaches. And I know for some people it's financially freeing. I understand that if you had $100,000 to start with, maybe your first year, and you increased from there, those numbers look a lot better if you don't make garbage money like I made. But I still think you're lying to yourself if you sit there and accept that that's all you're good for. I think I can do more investing in something other than mutual funds and an IRA, and I'm gonna do more and better than that. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.